Okay, so now we are done with step 1 and 2. Step 2 was doing Alaska and Hawaii on our board. So we've got that done, got those all trimmed up, and good to go. Now for step 3, we're still using our big pack of extra resistors. And we're going to do the US outline with unmarked resistors. So what that means is, like it says, the unmarked resistors. If I can get to focus right there. So you see this resistor has a W. It's right by the W LED. That's going to be a resistor for a white light. This one doesn't have a marking. This one has an R. This one doesn't have a marking. This one has a B for blue. So the ones that don't have an R, W, or B in it, those are going to be the ones that we use our bulk resistors for. When we're doing that, we've got to be careful not to bridge with the ones beside it, because the unmarked resistors, they're just there to complete our outline, but the marked resistors actually matter and flow into the LEDs. So if we bridge that, it's going to affect our brightness or the ability of our LEDs to light up. So again, I'm going to pull off a few resistors at a time. Now I'm just going to start up here at the top left in the unmarked spot. And actually, since these are going left to right, I'm going to bend these kind of up and down so my wires aren't running into each other.
Wait, was this supposed to log in?
Like that. Do what?
Check in?
Yes, check in. Don't forget to check in via Schoology or QR code if you are here in person. Okay, so I got 2 in there, and then I've got a blue resistor, so I'm going to move to the next unmarked resistor. I'm not sure. It should be up there by where that magnifying glass is on your table. Okay, so got to be careful not to bridge these two, because this one will be used later. A little bit on there. You really don't want to bridge any of them, but especially not the pads for RWB. These I've also got to be careful with. If you have more of a fine point tip, it might not be a bad idea to change out to a fine point tip. Mine's more or less just kind of big. But I'm trying to keep my iron away from the inside. So instead of having my iron on this side, I'm trying to keep it over here. So it's not so that it's not heating up this pad inadvertently. So you can still see blue between those pads. Those are all pretty good. So I can clip those. A few more. I'll go ahead and do some on the Texas border down here. And going left to right. How they are. Yeah, I'm soldering on the outside so I don't accidentally heat up the other pad and get solder where I don't need solder. And I'll do a couple on the West Coast and a couple on the East Coast. Now with this board, especially the closer you can bend the wires to the ceramic part of the resistor, the better off you're going to be with getting it placed on the board. And again, staying away from the other pads. And then I'll come over here and do a few on the East Coast. I will point out right here around the Great Lakes, there's a whole lot of unmarked resistors. All right, so come up over here. I've got my reading left to right. Now, like with these two, like with some of the pads on Alaska and Hawaii, those are almost built together. So you got to be real careful when you're applying there that it doesn't bridge. And the best way is to make sure your iron is away from that other pad. Okay, so got some of the north border, south border of Texas, the Gulf, West Coast, East Coast. Now we just got to go in and do the rest for there, 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 there. And all these around the Great Lakes right there. So everything that doesn't have an RW or B in it, gets a resistor from the bulk pack. And that does it for step 3. When you are done with that, make sure you go through and include a picture of the front and back of your board so I can go through and look at the solder joints in the corresponding assignment for Schoology. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't forget to reach out to me. I can't help if I don't know. And yeah, if you don't have a soldering iron or these kits at home, you need to get in touch with me ASAP so you can get the kits and get a grade in the class. See you for step 4.